Welcome to 2021 Insiders. So pumped for this year. It's going to be an amazing year. We had the craziness of 2020, and look, things can go upwards from here. I'm excited. So we thought we'd do our first show of the year on setting ourselves up for success. Jamie, Happy New Year. Welcome.
My brother, Happy New Year. So glad to be here. I'm excited for today because today's going to jump into the actual tactical strategies, the structure, whether it be mindset, whether it be looking at your planning process, or whether it's the execution part. We're going to do our very best to touch on each and every one of those to give you the ultimate tools, the ultimate strategy, so that you can go ahead and execute on your very best 2021.
Absolutely. And look, Jamie, you touched on it right there. And this is a topic that is really, really passionate. I'm really passionate about, because so many people set New Year's resolutions. They go, I'm going to New Year's resolution. This is what I'm going to do. And we all know by February, 80% of people aren't following them. They've already broken their resolutions, whatever it is they're committed to. For me, it's about setting some goals and doing some things to set yourself up for success, to make sure that you can follow through on the things you want to achieve for the year. Having some real action plans, having some real steps, some real things to take on, whether having your mindset in the right frame of mind to take advantage of the opportunities or the things that you need to do. So, look, let's get stuck into it. First and foremost, I think the most powerful and is mindset, is having your mindset right.
Yeah. You know? No question about it whatsoever. Now, I've shared a bunch of stuff on mindset. Brother, I want you to share. Would that be okay if I got you to share your stuff, your tools, your process of what you utilize when you're looking to turn on that mindset that's going to get you everything that you want, all the outcomes, get the results, to be able to execute flawlessly every time? How do you get into that place? How do you turn on that mindset?
So thank you very much, Jamie. Appreciate that heaps. For me, mindset, it's about being consistent with that mindset and having the right mindset when you need it, and being able to turn that on like a tool, like any tool that you've got. Look, we don't have to have the peak mindset 100% of the time. We can have downtime. Let's be real. Like, sometimes you just want to sit down and relax, and you don't need to have this mindset that you're going to go out and crush it right then. You just need to relax. So you need to be able to turn on the mindset that you need at different times, and that's a really, really powerful tool to be able to do that. And one of the things that I use is visualization. So I sit down. So every morning I do this. I have a morning routine that sets my day up for success. So every morning I sit down and I do like a 3-minute visualization meditation, where I think of the mindset or the behaviors that I need, the way I want to be thinking for the day, whether it's I need to, I've got some stuff on, I need to be really powerful and confident, and I need to, I've got some really challenging conversations, so I'm going to need to be really caring and empathetic today. So what I do is I draw on a memory, where a really, really powerful memory, and I've built these over the years, where I've found a memory, done some work that's really powerful, that just sends tingles down your spine about how powerful I was, or how certain I felt, or how loving and empathetic I was. And then I visualize that, and I step in that moment for 10 to 20 to 30 seconds. And I might stack 5 or 6 of these different behaviors or mindsets in one visualization, because that's who I need to be today, or that's where I need to be in that morning. And sometimes if you're having a really challenging day, you might have some other stuff in the afternoon. I'll do that for a minute or two while I stop for lunch, just close my eyes and go, what sort of mindset do I need this afternoon? I've got a lot of stuff. I've just got to knuckle down. I need a focused mindset. So I will then visualize the focus part of it and really knuckle down on the focus side of things. That's one of the tools that I use to make sure I got my mindset right. But it's about consistency, about practicing that, and repetition, because repetition is the mother of all skill, as they say. So making sure that we do that consistently every day, or practice it, so that when you need it, you can turn it on like that.
That's absolutely huge. Now, help me out here, because sometimes we're going to get into these situations, these occurrences, where all that stuff that we know on a conscious level kind of goes out the door. We kind of get wrapped into something, some bad news comes along, or a job doesn't go right the way we want it to, or whatnot. And in that moment, at least for a moment, I believe that all that knowledge, everything that we have, can go out the window. What can we do? What can a person do to be able to quickly, maybe number one, recognize what's going on, and then number two, snap back into that place where they're actually being productive and getting the results that they want?
So a really powerful tool to break that pattern, because quite often we get caught up in you get some really bad news or something's happened, say a job, you're running a project and, a major part hasn't turned up on time and it's going to hold the project up, or and you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? And you get in that that negative, that unhelpful, that unresourceful state, and you sort of can't see clearly because you can't see a solution right then and there. A really, really helpful tool is to break that pattern immediately is count your breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count it. I want everyone to try it. Count your breathing, because literally you can't think of anything else at that minute. It literally stops every thought in your head because you're counting your breathing. I don't know the science behind it, but it actually works. So if you count your breathing, it clears everything out of your head, and then it's way easier to snap into the state you want. You can then do that same thing. Go, righto, I need to find a solution. What kind of person will be able to find the solution right now? Bang. What is it? And then you can focus on the solution rather than the problem. How can we fix this? How can we fix this? And that's a really powerful tool as well. The language you say, how am I ever going to fix this, to what can be done to fix this? Or this is going to stuff me up, to what's the solution here? It just changes the question. If you change that little question you ask yourself, it changes what your brain thinks about. Your brain's designed to answer any question you ask it. So if you ask it the right question, you'll find the answer. The brain is an amazing, amazing bloody tool to use. So ask it the right questions and you'll get the right answers.
See, that's really cool, because what I heard you share there is really, it all comes down to focus. Whether I'm focusing on those memories that are helping me get what I want, to get into that right state of resourcefulness, unstoppableness, whatever that state is. And even when I've, number one, recognized, oh my God, I'm not in the right state to do this, I focus on my breath. I focus on counting that breath so that I can actually shift my focus into what it is that I want more of. I find that absolutely fascinating. Now, I got to ask something here, because quick little story here. Myself and my stepson and my wife, tonight we are probably not tonight, but maybe tomorrow night, tomorrow evening or something like that, we're going to rewatch The Secret again. Now, I've watched The Secret a couple times. I think it's a really great watch. It's not something that he's ever watched before, but there's a lot of intention behind The Secret. Is there a tool? Is there something that we can utilize to be able to recapture, redefine, and refocus our intention towards getting exactly what it is that we want?
That's a really good question, Jamie. There is definitely something you can use to refocus, recapture your intention. And one of the tools I use is, so my intention for the day, or what I want to achieve for the day, or what I want to focus on, is I picture that happening. If I'm having a big week and my intention for the week is to get a project ready for delivery, so then I picture that on the first day of the week, done. Picture it as done, not picture all the things I got to do and get overwhelmed with a to-do list. I picture what it would feel like to be finished, and that sets the intention of where I need to be and where I need to go, or whatever it is. It could be a health goal, like I want to eat clean for this week and really reset after a big Christmas, New Year's, because let's be real, we probably all put a couple of kilos on over Christmas. That's what I want to do. I want to eat really clean. I want to be healthy. Or, I want to increase my water intake or whatever. So I set that intention, and then I focus on that every morning. I do that. I'll be honest, I read Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning. I used to do bits and pieces of all of that, and I really love how that's packaged together. So I do his Miracle Morning, and I spend between 3 and 5 minutes, depending on how much time I have, visualizing what my intention is, what I want to achieve for the day or the week. And that really sets the intention for where I want to go for that day or for that week.
Yeah. What's great about this is, before I was a coach, before anything, I was one of those people that thought a lot of this stuff was just woo-woo, right? It's just like, oh yeah, sure. Focus on what, right. I don't need to do that. I just need to take action. Now, after having done this for thousands and thousands of times, I really, truly recognize the power behind that. What would you tell someone, maybe someone that's brand new, someone that's just starting out on their journey, entrepreneurial or whatnot, what would you tell them surrounding mindset, and how would you explain the importance of that to them?
So it's probably the easiest way to explain the importance of it is to get them to share an experience when they've just like literally felt like they were having the best time of their life. They were super happy. They were, and get them to live a real world example of what they were thinking about at the time. Just get them to relive that, because the best way to reinforce how powerful it is to show someone. I could tell you all the, mate, this works. It works. It works. It works. Here's 100 examples of how it works. You know, I could have the worst thing going on in life, you know, like, but I could still be happy because I'm focusing on what makes me happy. Yep, I've, you know, might have had to bury a friend. You know, it's a terrible week. It's sad, but I'm focusing on all the love that I can share to my cousins and my family. And, you know, so I wasn't a raging mess. And so these are 100 examples of how it works. But the easiest way to have a newbie or someone new into the experience or someone just starting out is to really show them, like get them to live an experience in their own life from a different reference. You know, maybe they're new in business, so they don't have a business experience, but maybe they're really good at sport. So I can give them an example from sport of how their correct mindset made them successful in that sport. So if they can apply that in business, then that same will apply.
Yeah,
that's probably the easiest way, Jamie.
Sorry, say that again.
That's probably the easiest way to really reinforce that, is to give them experience or show them, walk them through some, you know, like timeline where in their life. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that process, because chances are, even if we're not consciously aware of it, if we give ourselves that moment to really think about it, recognize a time where you were in that state, where you were happy, where you were successful, where you were doing everything that you wanted to, and nothing was holding you back. Right? We can recall those moments if we're given that time to really think about it there. I mean, there's some great tools. We're not going to get into the tools today of how to do that, but there's some really great tools that you can utilize, that you can unlock, that will give you those experiences so that you can build on that. Another great question to ask is, well, if I was in that absolutely incredible, resourceful state, unstoppable state, unshakable state, what would I be feeling like? Now, you ask your brain any question, it's going to give you an answer, right? There's a beautiful, powerful tools within that question in itself, and that it's going to allow your brain to give you those answers. Well, if I was unstoppable, right, I wouldn't be all slumped over. I'd probably be standing up. I'd have a big smile on my face. I would be like Superman, Wonder Woman, whatever it is. I'd be standing out there doing that. Now, we know it starts from mindset. The practice. How many times would you say I have to practice mindset? Is it just like, do it a couple times and I'm good?
I heard a really good reference. It's AFT, all the fucking time.
Yes, exactly. AFT, right? You heard it here. AFT. You will do this for the rest of your life.
Well, actually, I've got a good question, Jamie.
Yeah.
It depends. How long do you want to be happy for?
Oh.
If you want to be happy for an hour, then practice for an hour.
Yeah.
That's your choice. I want to be happy all the time, so I'm going to practice all the time.
That's huge, right? It's all about the choice. I love this. I absolutely, completely love this. Now, what's next? If I've got the mindset, if I'm practicing it and I'm 51% of the way there. I'm over the middle mark. I'm over the hump. I'm getting it. I'm not perfect at it. I'm getting it. I'm executing. I'm making it happen. What's next? What's after mindset?
So after mindset is some more practical stuff. Jamie, is like getting, one of Jamie's favorite words is let's get some shit done. Like let's do some stuff. Let's have a strategy in place, have some real goals, some tangible steps that we can focus on, that we can like take steps towards where we want to go. Doing some goal setting. We talked about this before Christmas, to set people up for the new year, to how to set some goals, some, where to go. So get those goals, spend a bit of time, chunk them down into months. It's your planning and the actual practical nuts and bolts of getting stuff done.
Yep.
You will break it down into months. What do I need to achieve this month to get towards my yearly goal? What do I need to achieve this week to get towards my monthly goal? Setting some realistic, achievable action items. We all overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. But if we set some, and look, I'll be honest, start small. I struggled with this. It's taken me 3 years to get to a stage where I feel like it's comfortable and it works well for me. Mm-hmm. When I first started being coached, I'd be lucky if I could schedule. I'd say, yeah, I'm going to schedule all this stuff, and then that would work for 2 days, and then I wouldn't schedule anything for 4 weeks, and then. But just being consistent and just right over. I want to achieve. I'm going to use weight loss because it's really easy. So I want to lose 5 kilos. So what I need to do, I need to go to the gym 5 days a week, and I need to eat healthy, whatever else. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to schedule my gym because that's something I need to do every day to take action towards my goal. So you don't have to schedule your whole day. Just schedule that action item that you need to do. I could schedule gym and I could schedule this and all these different things to do it, but realistically, it's probably not going to happen because you're trying to do too much. Just start small, schedule the key action items that you need to do to get to your goal for the week or the month or the whatever it is. You don't have to fill your entire schedule with action items to start with because that gets overwhelming. And you look at it and you go, how am I even going to get this done? What about? And then your brain and you do nothing. You get paralyzed by overwhelm. So just schedule a few key action items, just practice, get better at it, keep practicing, keep scheduling, and then you'll find you'll start scheduling more things. And people will say, can we catch up? I said, yeah, I'll chuck it in my schedule. Oh, okay. When do we want to do that? I'll chuck it in my schedule now. Whereas before it'd be like, yeah, sure, whenever. And that's an inefficient way to do things. You can chuck it in your schedule and you can make time and give people the time and effort they deserve. So start small, schedule key items, and build up to it.
Excellent. Now, how do I know what to schedule? How do I know? How can I be directed or take a proactive approach to really, truly recognizing what it is that I have to schedule? Where do those pieces come from?
So that comes from what you want to achieve. So that comes from your goal. So it's about chunking down your goal for the year. I want to grow my business by 300,000. So I need 300,000 worth of sales. Okay. So what do I need to do to get 300,000 worth of sales? All right. Well, I need to do some marketing and generate some more leads, some more inquiries. Well, to do the marketing, so that's a big key item. So we might break the marketing up. So to do the marketing, right, I need to create some content. I need to do some video. I need to get some copy done up. I need to get some images done. And you write in these big chunks down on a piece of paper. Just write them all down. Don't prioritize them or order them or do anything. Just write all the big chunks down on a piece of paper under each subheading. Whereas, marketing is a big, huge subheading. Write all the things under marketing. And then whatever the other one is, sales systems, all the background stuff, whatever they are, just keep writing them down, and then look at them and go, right, well, which one of these things or which two of these things are going to get me the biggest result first?
I'm going to stop you right there because you just said something that is absolutely epic. You might come up with a list of 100 things. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm not. But that question right there, say the question again. What was the question? Which one of these things is going to give me the biggest result first? Right there. That's absolutely huge. That is going to be the game changer, right? I apply a couple extra principles onto that. What can we do that maybe isn't going to cost a fortune? What can we do that's going to give us the biggest gains? What can we do that's going to move us further forward faster? We've got to analyze each of those pieces because we do want to pick the low-hanging fruit. I know we've all heard the term, pick the low-hanging fruit. We also want to make sure that fruit is ripe. We want to make sure that we're doing these things in the right order. And the process you're talking about here, Mick, it really helps us to be able to do that. Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. And look, we all know there's principles out there, but 20% of what we do will give us 80% of the result. If you wanted 300,000 worth of sales and you got 80% of the way there because you didn't quite refine the 20, you're 80% towards your goal instead of 20%. So if you focus on that really effective 20%, that ripe low-hanging fruit that's going to get you most of the way there, you'll build that momentum. You'll get almost all the way to where you want to go, and it'll really help to build momentum forward to finish that last 20% off to get you where you want to go and beyond. Absolutely, and that's the key, right? You've got to build some sort of momentum. You hear so many analogies of it. Just think about moving that great big rock. Right. Back in the olden day, all you had was the lever. We're going to get some leverage on this rock to get it moving. Now, at first, you might have to push and push and push. And it's not moving anywhere. But pretty soon, though, you start to rock it a little bit. You're rocking the rock. Pretty soon, that rock starts to move. And once you get it moving, you don't want to stop that thing. You want to keep pushing it because that's what's going to keep you moving towards your ultimate outcomes. And ultimately, towards your ultimate destination of the completion of your goals. It is about finding those pieces that you can implement, that you can begin moving forward so that you can keep that rock rolling right towards the ultimate finish line.
Yeah, absolutely, Jamie.
What else do we need to know about planning? If I'm looking at planning, I'm doing some stuff. Okay, I've got some ideas. I've got some goals. I've kind of broken it down into some of the things I know. What else would you suggest? Who else, maybe a better question is, who else would help me? Who else could take a look at it to ensure that I've kind of addressed everything that I really need to, that there's no big glaring gaps?
So this is one of the probably biggest benefits of having a coach, Jamie, is every good coach that I know of will say, yep, flick that through to me, mate, and I will take a look at it and see if I can see anywhere or add any advice or offer any bits, So flick it through to your coach. If you don't have a coach, give you a virtual slap now, sort that out. Send it through to your coach and get them to take a look at it, and they'll have a look and go, yeah, well, no, yes, no, that, this, and they'll give you the areas or the bits and pieces advice if you've missed anything, any glaring gaps. That's probably one of the questions we missed in that low-hanging fruit that I love, is because, it can seem overwhelming and there's lots to do. And this was a question I really struggled with to start with. It's, well, who else can help me? Does it have to be me that does this? Yes, this needs to be done, and it's low-hanging fruit, and it's 100 hours of work. And your brain goes, how am I ever going to fit this in? Well, maybe it's content creation, maybe it's video editing, maybe does that have to be me? Is there anyone that can help me with that? That's a question that frees up time, that helps with the workload, because, well, let's face it, there's only so many hours in the day, and we all have commitments, family, other things. Are we prepared to spread that out and do it over the month, or do we want that done now? And can we get someone else? Can we leverage someone else's time and engage someone else to do that? So it's a question I always ask: does it have to be me? Yeah. Reality is it doesn't usually.
That's absolutely true, right? This is where, if you're not working in your zone of genius, if you're not working on the business, if you're too busy working in the business, doing your own video editing, doing all your own janitorial, doing all those things that's really best suited for someone else that's in their zone of genius, a couple things are happening. Number one, I really believe you're shortchanging yourself. I use the analogy of building websites. I am about the furthest thing away from a website guru type guy. Now, I've tried, don't get me wrong. I've built some websites. They never ranked. There was no SEO, and they looked pretty horrible to start off with. It was pretty bad, right? I don't even want to go there of how embarrassing it was. But I gave it a go. I thought I could do it. It wasn't my jam. But what I recognize is the time that I spent doing that. I'm talking and I'm not exaggerating here, from some of the iterations of the websites I've built, I've probably spent well over 100 hours working and doing something that was not within my zone of genius, something that I straight up, and I'll admit it, I sucked at it. Not my specialty, not my jam. But what's that 100 hours actually worth? A lot of us tell ourselves, well, it's my time, so it's free. It's my time, so it's free. It's okay. It's not going to cost me anything. I'm going to disagree with that point, because your time is extremely valuable. Think about it like this: instead of, oh, my time's not worth anything. Actually, my time is worth a whole lot, because when I'm training, when I'm mentoring, when I'm coaching, I actually make a lot of money, right? I charge a lot. I don't work with everyone, and there's a reason for that. But nonetheless, though, if I start to look at what I charge now versus those 100 hours, I'm going to get a little bit worried, because it's disproportionate. It's absolutely disproportionate. Whereas, if you're just starting out and you just need to get that proverbial tile on the wall, i.e. a basic website, utilize resources. We've got Fiverr, we've got Upwork. There's a ton of different places where you can get something done, right? Just to get your name out there. That question, does it have to be me or must it be someone else? I'll tell you quite seriously, it's got to be someone else in that situation. Get the experts to do it. Furthermore, why would you want to take that opportunity away from someone who's really great at it, can probably do it in 1/10 of the time that you could if you're not doing the work that's within your zone of genius? That is absolutely huge. Mick, how many times have you gone and done something that you recognize, man, I really shouldn't have taken that on? Have you ever done that?
Yes, many times. I'm like, dude, why did I do that? I should have just got the professional to do that, or the expert, or like I've spent hours and hours and hours doing things. Like website. I built a couple of websites, and I was like, I spent maybe 3 or 4 weekends. 5, 6, 8 hours on the weekend, maybe 40, 50 hours to build a simple 2 or 3 page website. And then I needed something else done. And I was like, you know what? I just don't have time. I'm just going to get someone else to do this one. Paid $400, and it was 10 times better, and it was done in 3 days. Literally, she had it back to me, all finished, done. I tweaked a couple things, sent it back, schmicko. I was like, you know what? Why did I spend all that time? That was such a waste of time. Yep. So, going forward, like, it's taught me the lessons that you get the professionals to do it, leverage them. You'll get a better result. You get time to do things that add value to your business or to your family or to your life, and you can enjoy the time, and you don't struggle with the process.
Yeah. What we also have to remember, you and I, we both learned this from Kerwin, scale equals freedom. And I want to talk about that a little bit if we can, because I'm a big believer in this. Scale equals freedom. Myself, what I've recognized now is at the beginning of the year, it was me. And I had the golden handcuffs on, and I was working with Tony Robbins, doing that sort of stuff there. Some things changed throughout the year. And what's really great is when I stand at the top of 2021 right now, and I look at my business and I look where I am right now, and I added it up today. It actually kind of shocked the hell out of me today. Everyone talks about scaling their business, growing their business. I actually have a team of 7 people now working with me. When I look at all the different people, and these are different individual people, when I look at all the different people that I now leverage, that I'm able to work with, are they employees? No, but they're really great contractors. I'll tell you that. And they're on that constant basis with me. I've leveled up my team to 7. How much more is that going to enable me to do? It's going to enable me to do a ton more. Whether it's having that VA, whether it's having the executive assistant, the team of actual video editors that I've just recently brought on, that in a matter of just a little bit, my first video out, they totally kicked butt on anything that I had done in the last years, right? It's bringing those people on and recognizing the power of being able to leverage. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't cost anything. Now, that might be controversial. Come on, Jamie, it costs something. There's a money. You pay money. Here's the thing. I'm saving money. I'm saving money big time, because my time, my effort, my frustration and stress trying to figure something out that I don't know, it's worth, the peace is worth so much more than that. Me being able to be in my zone of genius, doing what I absolutely love to do, worth 1,000 times more than that. When you think about business, Mick, and you've got a couple businesses on, you contractor, plus you have your own coaching business and stuff. When you start to look at those aspects, you shared that you brought on that person to develop the website. What other areas have you brought those people in that's made a radical difference for you?
Look, it's there was one quote before we get too much further. I think it's from Gary Vee. Is one of the biggest things for people before bringing on contractors or scaling is like, well, no one will do it as good as me. They won't be able to. They have this mindset that they could do it right. So you at 10 out of 10 equals 100. 100% perfect. Yep, that's 100. If we have 8 people operating at 8 out of 10, that's 800. So do you want your business to be at 800 or 100? If you want to earn, you can scale at 10 out of 10 and aim for 10 out of 10. But if you get 8 out of 10 times 10 people, that's 800. That's your business is 8 times bigger than just you. But we've got to get comfortable with and release the idea that only we can do it right, first and foremost. But like you said, Jamie, I've brought on website people, marketing people, and even in the contractor business, bring on sub trades that are specialised in it, painters and plasterers, and we've often had the belief that we can do all of that. Yeah, we could do that. Our guys can do that. It's not their specialty. They're not great at it. They don't enjoy it. Causes morale issues because they have to do jobs they hate doing. That a contractor, you could get a contractor in and move them on to doing jobs that make money. Leverage your team. Rather than employ someone to do that skill, you just get a contractor in, and your guys can go do stuff that make money or that they love doing. That like Jamie said, move into your zone of genius, your area of specialty. instead of trying to do everything yourself. And that's a really, really powerful lesson in no matter what business, is leverage that, because while the time you spend doing something that you don't love or doing this other skill or tool or whatever it is time you're not doing stuff you love that makes money for the business.
That's magic right there. That is truly absolutely magic. Look for those opportunities where you can leverage. Right now, you're going to do it proportional to the revenue of the business as well. Let's face it, we're not just going to bring in a team of 100 people when you can't afford to pay for them. We're going to scale up. That's the whole premise behind growth and scale, is to do it proportionally. I had a question asked this morning of my group there, and they were talking about 10xing their marketing. Right? It's like, should I go ahead? Should I 10x my marketing? I'm like, you know what? I can't even begin to answer that question, simply because I have no concept of what's happening in the business right now. We can say, sure, yeah, go ahead, 10x your marketing, but are the systems in place to be able to effectively manage all the new leads that are going to come in based on that? Right? It's easy to say, yeah, we're just going to do this, we're going to 10x it, but we've really got to recognize, what are the systems? What are the mechanisms in place? It has to be done proportionately to all the other areas of your business so that you can take maximum benefit from that growth. Now, that's a big one. We won't get into a lot of that here today, but it's really important to decide, okay, what areas do I have to tweak? It's not just saying, okay, everything is going to focus in on marketing and that's all I'm going to do. Because sure, you might have leads coming in, you might have a ton of stuff coming in, but all of a sudden, what happens with those leads? Who's doing the sales calls? Who's booking it in? Who's closing those deals? And who's ensuring your client success all the way along? If you've got nothing there, that's a quick recipe for disaster.
Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. And you're 100% right. And the other question of that, as soon as you said that, popped into my head. Well, I can 10x my marketing, but is the marketing I'm doing now currently working? I can 10x bad marketing. Oh, I just need to increase my spend on marketing. But if it's not working, you're not getting any conversions, then you're 10xing nothing. Spending more money for no reason. So that was the first question that popped into my head when you did that. Sorry to go on a tangent.
No, it's great. That's absolutely perfect, right? 10xing nothing is still nothing.
Yep.
Right.
And you're 100% right. You've got to make sure it's no good 10xing one thing and not having the systems in place to make sure that you can capture those, take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what we got so far. I got mindset. I'm there. I got it. I figured it out. I'm practicing. I'm using some breathing techniques to be able to interrupt myself. One of our viewers, Luke, he had made a comment on here. I don't know if Luke's still on or whatnot right now, but he's got some anchoring bracelets, right? And I've seen Luke's stuff on here before. I've seen what he does. He's actually developed a really cool product there where he's got that anchoring bracelet and he's able to get into those states, into those mindsets by utilizing that information there. It's absolutely brilliant. We've got the mindset down. We've got the structure. We understand at least, surface level, a little bit about the planning, taking a look at those goals, figuring out what the action items are. We're down to the execution piece. Now, what do you suggest that I do to absolutely execute to ensure that I'm consistently and constantly moving forward towards my outcomes?
Well, one of the biggest things is, you said it there, the key, and that is consistently moving forward. I can, if my goal is to lose 5 kilos and I go to the gym once, I've executed, but I'm not consistent. There's no good doing something once and expecting a huge result. It's what we do consistently that gains the results. So we're going to have to consistently take steps forward. And one of the things for me is accountability. I'm part of the K2 Elite community, and every Monday I've got to post my tops and my action items, done, not done, in progress. If there's something on my list that's not done for more than 2 weeks, I get a message or a call, or what's going on? What do you need to help? I get support. What do you need help with to make this? Is the goal too big? Is it what's happening here? Why isn't there been any progress? It's straight away. So there's an accountability level. So groups like the Insiders Elite, having a coach, having a network, or being a part of a community that holds you to a higher standard, or having an accountability structure in your business. We've just implemented a weekly accountability email, what you're focusing on for the week, and then done, not done, in progress. Same sort of thing, in our business, for your manager to hold you accountable, or your directors, or whatever. So that accountability to make sure you're consistently taking action in the right direction is absolutely critical. And if you're a new entrepreneur starting out on your own, you're a tradie, one-man show, you've got no manager or boss to keep you accountable. This is where your coach or your community or your growth, that's where they come. Absolutely critical is getting someone who's going to hold you to a high standard.
Yep. Yeah. And that is absolutely key. Yeah, I work with so many different entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, right? It's those people. And, we've all might have been told the story that, yeah, you know what? Hey, you get all the freedom you want when you're a business owner. You get to work your own hours, this and that. Well, we know a little bit of a story about what that actually is. And as a business owner, business operator, you're actually working probably 2 to 3 times more, right? Just get used to that. That's an absolute fact. When you've grown and scale your business, sure, right? You get to become that true business owner who works on the business in your zone of genius. Boom, you're sitting back, you're drinking that Mai Tai, that pina colada on the beach, you're enjoying it. That's my goal for each and every one of my clients. At first, though, it's all about doing the work. If you don't do the work, you're not going to get to that place. You're not going to scale. You're not going to grow your business. What it takes is consistent and constant action towards that, but most importantly, accountability. A couple great authors that I've followed, that I've read, and all that. Of course, the first one is David Goggins. Absolutely just amazing. There, Can't Hurt Me. The book is incredible. If you haven't read it, if you haven't seen it, I strongly encourage you to grab that book. Grab the audio book off of Audible. Download it. Listen to it. It will quite literally change your life. And he's pretty graphic in it. He uses lots of swear words. So if that thing offends you, just kind of plug your ears for the swear words part. But he's got some just exceptional tools that he used as a Navy SEAL to get to that place. He was a man that was over 300 pounds that applied for the Navy SEALs. And he was actually able to get in and finally move forward on that process. Accountability is something that he knows well. All sorts of other books as well. Extreme Ownership. I'm a big believer in extreme ownership. Leif Babin and Jocko Willink, just absolutely great guys. The process you were talking about a little bit there about done, not done in process, and then debriefing it. That's something that those gentlemen, they train with their company Echelon Front. They train that out there, and they just share a ton of information on that. So I love you bringing that up and bringing that into it, because it adds that extra little missing piece.
It absolutely does, Jamie. And that's another thing that you brought up. And if you want to set yourself up for success, is, your mind is a really, really powerful tool, but what you feed it is what you get out. So if you feed it Netflix and the news, you're going to get crap and crap, because that's what you're watching. Like if you're going to, hey, I'm all up for watching a movie. I watched a movie with the kids last night, watching some Netflix or whatever. But if you generally feed your stuff positive, helpful things that are going to help you grow, like books like David Goggins, We Can't Hurt Me, or I'm currently reading Simon Sinek, Infinite Game, which my brother got me for Christmas. And it's about having an infinite mindset as a win-lose finite mindset. And he uses many business references where there's a difference between infinite and finite, like the differences in what it can achieve in business. So it's feeding yourself. And if you're not a reader, go to Audible. If you don't like listening to stuff, there's so much on the internet. There's YouTube videos. Watch Jamie and my show every week. At least you're feeding your mind with good stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
So there's so much out there these days. There's no excuse not in any media format that you like. It's there. It's available, and everybody's doing it. And there's so much good stuff out there. So jump on it. Read some of these books that we mentioned. Take notes. Write them down. Even if you read it later when you've got some holidays. I've got to have an operation next week, and I have 2 weeks off. So I've got about 6 or 7 books I'm taking with me, because I'm getting behind on my reading, because I read a few, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour a day, and I keep buying all these books. So the pile beside my bed is about, 10 books high. So I'm going to do some reading. I've got to lay and recover and read some books. I'll probably listen to some audio books to break it up, spend the time when you get it to feed your mind with good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just a matter of doing it once. Mick, you said it a few times. Repetition is the master skill, right? Mm-hmm. Repetition is the key to everything. There are audiobooks that I've purchased not long ago, 3-4 months ago, that I've probably listened to 5 times already. There's one in particular that I just absolutely love, and I just keep going through it, and every single time I'm pulling out new little nuggets. It's helping me to grow, expand. So just because you've got it doesn't mean you just stop listening. No, you go over it again and again and again, because you'll find those great nuggets, those great pieces out of it there, and it's going to change your life. It's going to change your business for sure.
Absolutely, Jamie. It's like you said, what you put in is what you get out. So to make 2021 your best year yet, put in all the good stuff, get your mindset right, and you'll be amazed at where it goes. And one thing that most business owners and most people really suck at is celebrating their wins.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my hand up. For a long, long time, I sucked at celebrating my wins. I'm still not amazing at it, but I practice it all the time. Every time I get a little win, I'm grateful for that opportunity yesterday. It's really awesome. Someone says, oh, what happened this week? I'll tell them something awesome that's happened and celebrate that a little bit. And that's not showing off. That's just being proud of your achievements and recognizing. And you all know that you can say things in multiple different ways. So if you say, it's like, look at me, I'm so amazing, I won this or I did this, that's showing off. But if someone says, oh, you know, what's going on for you? Is like, oh, I just won this new project. It's pretty awesome. And you're like, wow, that's so awesome. Well done. You know, like whatever it is, celebrate the little wins because it helps to build momentum. It helps with your mindset. It reinforces the good things that you're currently doing to set you up in the right direction.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Now, you're going to be off for a week or 2 or 3, Mick. What's it look like for when our next show is coming up? I might as well ask you that now.
Look, I think at this stage, about 2 weeks' time, I should be right. I may have a little bit of a croaky voice. I need to get my tonsils out, which is not generally an adult operation. So I'm imagining I'll have a bit of a sore voice. So about 2 weeks, I think I should be right. If that changes, it might be 3 weeks, but we'll have next weekend off. And then we'll come back at you the following week. And hopefully we've got a guest on the show as well. They can do some of the talking for me if I'm a little bit out of a little bit under the weather. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to be able to do that in about 2 weeks' time.
Definitely. And we do have some guests lined up. I think we've got about 4 or 5 guests lined up to be coming on over the next few months and stuff. So we're really excited to have them come share their expertise in business, in thoughts, in sharing a bunch of stuff. I'm really super excited for that. So that's going to be absolutely great. Look, number one, take action, even if it's the smallest action, whether it's practicing your mindset, whether it's looking at your structure and recognizing, hey, there's a plan that we can put into place. There is something that we can do right now that's going to move the needle, that's going to make a big difference that I can actually take action on that will move me further forward, faster towards my ultimate outcome. And then it's all about consistency. Do it over and over and over. Do it over and over and over so many times that it becomes second nature. What's the power of 10,000? And I thank Kerwin Ray for this in my mentorship with Kerwin Ray. He shared it with me, the power of 10,000. That is mastery. When you've done something, when you've repeated it 10,000 times, that's when you know you've absolutely got it. That's when that piece, that action, that activity, whatever it is, has now become part of that unconscious competence where you don't even have to think about it. You simply go and do.
Absolutely, Jamie. And consistency is the absolute key. We've mentioned it a dozen times or more. It's about what you do consistently is what makes the biggest impact in your life, not what you do once or twice. If you want to be fit and healthy, it's what you eat and do every day that makes the difference, not what you did once on the weekend. Yeah. So be consistent at whatever it is that you want to achieve this year, whether it's health, whether it's business, whether it's personal life, family, happiness, mindset, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, consistency is the key. Doing it repetition over and over and over and over again and making it work.
Absolutely. With that said, we've come to the end of our show here today. We're so glad for everyone that joined us here. Mick, you've got a bunch of well-wishers here wishing you well to get well soon, to come out of your operation great. So thank you, everyone, for who commented on that. It has been an absolute pleasure to stand, to deliver, to give you some of these keys for 2021 that's going to set you up with your ultimate success. Look, we are here. We are a tribe. We are a herd. We stand together because together we are stronger. If there's questions, if there's concerns, if there's answers that you need, please include them in the group. Get it in there. Get those questions out there. We'll do everything we can to get your questions solved and get you moving further, faster towards your ultimate outcome. Last thoughts, Mick?
Absolutely. Firstly, thank you everyone for the well wishes. Really, really appreciate it. Super grateful. And look, jump on the group, use it. There's a wealth of knowledge, not just with Jamie and I and the others involved. There's a wealth of knowledge in the group, whether it's mindset, health, business, spirituality. There's so much variety of the skills we have in our group. Utilize them because the power is in the group. With that said, guys, I hope this was valuable and have an amazing start to 2021, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
See you soon.